Yeah, I was like,
Nice.
you did not hit the go live button. Yes.
Yeah.
Max, you absolute genius. Button. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
1 second.
Max, you absolute genius. Button. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
1 second.
Max. No. Did you close it on Discord? Max, you absolute genius. Well, just start at this point, man. Yeah, just start at this point. There's no point.
Yeah.
If we'd
so let's
started
go
like
ahead and start.
7:55 maybe, but
So, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the NARAS Weekly Podcast. This is episode 3, where we're going to be talking about post 500 stories and what has all gone in the 500. So, starting off, this was NARAS' first race back after a long hiatus. I want to ask you guys, as the drivers that were in that race, how was it and what could have been improved?
well, obviously we had issues with the cars at the start.
Mm-hmm.
The start-finish line, something broke in it. I don't know what, because I'm not a dev. I just drive the cars and ban people. But there's something wrong with the starting line, and then I think what happened is some of the cars were the same as the Atlanta ones and did not have the draft in them. So some cars had draft and some didn't.
Yes,
So
because last season I remember that cars never had draft on the intermediates.
Yeah. So I think some of those were from Daytona, and the newer ones that were added, the old ones were from Atlanta, and the newer ones that were added had the draft. Because you can see in the back, a lot of the newer rookies.
A lot of the cars still had those draft tails.
It was mainly the people in the back, mainly like the rookies and everything.
Yeah.
So, so stage 1 was just really about who could fire off from the line the best. First it was me, then it was Max, then it was me again. Or no, it was Max the second time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because then something happened and he dropped back 3 spots.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened with that. I know it was easy to hold a line on the bottom, but if you push someone in the turns, the person you're pushing will slide up, and that's how
that wasn't really much of an issue.
It wasn't an issue
this year. Yeah, it wasn't an issue.
Well, it wasn't an issue the second half after we fixed the cars.
Well, even then it wasn't in the first half because no one could catch each other.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably because you didn't have draft to catch each other and push each other.
Yeah, but even then, I think it was fine. I mean, the race obviously the first stage took forever, and then stage 2 everyone was getting used to having spin physics, and that took a while to get started.
Yeah. The entire race
once we got rolling, we're good. So.
So Max, let's hear your take on how the actual race was. You won the race, so shut up.
I'm right.
I mean, it wasn't too bad. It was kind of just one of those things where it's the first time back. There's going to be mistakes, whether you like it or not. But, I mean, the cars were fine. I mean, honestly, I preferred the one that the old series dev kind of put in. Those were really nice. I liked those. It was nice, and it was you could act and it was probably the first time I ever did a race where you could tell there was a physically looking at the car. Oh, that's the 550 Super Speedway draft package,
Yeah.
That's what he was calling it, and it looked really good. But I mean, it wasn't too crazy. It's just you always gotta kind of somewhat expect these faults when you're coming back,
Mm-hmm.
I will add one thing.
Okay.
Drivers, some of them were awful, and I'm mainly looking at Bubby, Jug, whatever you call him. I don't really care.
Yeah.
The man made the cars, but can't drive them.
Well, and see, the thing was, he was looking at us like we couldn't drive them.
But he was the one dive bombing people going under the line.
Yeah, well, he did he had someone stream on his channel the other night for another league, and he was in the race. He was driving the 99 Ford in the COT cars, and he was doing the exact same thing that he was doing yesterday in our race.
Yeah, so I almost wonder if it's just his driving style to not do the things right.
I don't know what it is, but something was off.
Yeah.
Something was off. It was very obvious.
Yeah. I don't know if he was, just trying to troll or if he was just trying to have fun or what.
Well, I mean, because he's a part-time driver. If he loses his ride, he's not really losing much.
No, he's not. And if he wins, it doesn't shake anything up in the point standings at all.
Yeah. But he didn't, so we're good.
Yeah. Instead, he got kicked with about 30 to go.
He got kicked with 10 to go.
Oh, well, he got kicked, period.
Yeah. He got kicked on like the second to last restart.
So after all of that, what could be improved moving on to Atlanta and the rest of the season?
Just having everything ready, I think. I don't know what moved in between qualifying and the race. Because qualifying was fine with the ticker. And there was still draft, you could see it. I don't know what changed in between then.
The problem with I don't know what happened with the ticker, but it somehow ended up underneath the start finish line, and there was just enough of the box sticking out on the start finish line on the bottom of the apron that if a car went down there, it would catch their driver's seat, so it would pick up their lap. Mm-hmm. And that I don't know what actually happened with that, but Jug did go into the studio mid race and fix that, and that was the reason for that first rejoin. Yeah. Well, him pulling off was getting our car set up for draft, and
oh no, you're right.
Yeah.
He fixed it during the red flag.
Yes. Yeah.
Was the first one of like 50.
Yeah, because that was the reason why we went under red flag was because of the ticker.
Yeah. Well, the first time.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So, Max, do you have anything to add on to what could be improved moving on?
No, not really. Besides just kind of just double checking, just always having NARAS officials just double check the game, make sure everything's
Yeah, I almost wonder if we'd gotten that practice race in earlier that day, if it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I know something was telling me to go ahead and do the practice session, but at the same time, it was just like it.
Such a weird time.
Yeah, it was, and something was telling me to do it. Something was telling me not to do it. Everything's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But
it was wrong.
We did catch. Yeah, well, we caught the mistakes and we fixed them, and we know what to look. Yeah, which is good. I'm glad that it didn't take the entire race to finally, say, hey, we need to fix this now. So normally, Max knows this very well. Normally, I won't stop a race to fix a problem, but that was one. Those were problems that had to be fixed.
Where it really is going to benefit certain people, because if you're in the front, you're always going to be the top two.
Well, and really, the people who had the draft were still in the back of the pack.
Well, the main issue was, okay, so if you started on first or second, and you got a good launch, you were good for the race.
Oh, yeah.
That's what saved me. That's what got Max up front, is he had a good launch on that first restart and got up to, second. And
after starting
so it
fourth,
really all depended on the launch. And what line
sixth or fourth. I don't know where he actually started. He started sixth.
Who?
Max.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, seventh, but one
back.
Driver didn't show up, so you started sixth. Yeah.
Because Arrow did not make it.
Yes, that was it. Arrow did not show up. Turns out he was actually at a friend's house that day, so.
Yeah, but I guess he didn't know that, otherwise he wouldn't have shown up to qualifying.
Right.
So.
So, with that being said, Lead Motorsports is known for dominating at Daytona all the time. Besides Max, whenever he goes back to his team, but yesterday we led 89 of the 90 laps. The only one lap was led by another driver, and that was Matthew. We led 89 laps, and I want you. So I'm going to stay out of this because I don't want to be that one biased person that just congratulates you guys all the time. I want you guys to talk about this one, so I'll let you guys take the floor.
Yes, 3 LM people in a VC doing a podcast. What could go wrong? You didn't. We probably should have brought someone in out. We should have brought Matthew.
We still can.
Yeah, I mean we could. I don't know. I think it's too late though. I don't even know if Matthew's here. I think
he is offline. I think. No.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, he's off. No. He's online.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Just go.
I don't know if he's up to it though. So let's just do
let's
us.
Just go.
Next week we'll actually have someone.
Obviously, LM had the best teamwork. That's really what it came down to.
Let's just stay unbiased, just for the record, guys. This is all, guys. This for the record, this is unbiased. Okay, I'm letting you guys know now. That way, they can't say it is biased.
Yeah. Well, like you could see on track, you could see on the stream. LM was always constantly working with each other. We would drop back to let the other in, and like that's what Josh was really good at. Was like holding everyone back, letting us in if we needed to come in. And I feel like Josh wasn't really racing for the win as much as he was racing for the team, which is good.
I think he was more playing defense than he was offense.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Then Sup and BMX were kind of fighting in stage 1. So it was really just me, Max, and Josh in stage 1 up in that like first, second, third.
It was a fake Sup. It wasn't our Sup.
Yeah. It wasn't even our Sup.
He did good though. Considering he didn't even know who his teammates were. Yeah.
Wait, what about the teammates?
Considering he had no idea who his teammates were, I'd say he did pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. So Max, do you have anything to add on?
Just we keep pushing each other like this for Talladega, and we just kind of keep ourselves hooked together and pushing each other to wins, and I think we can win every race this season. I think
guaranteed.
So
guaranteed.
Yeah, if we just work together and don't be stupid, then we'll be fine.
Yeah. Like, okay, so go ahead, Max.
No, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, you go ahead.
I'll just go again. Okay.
So, I will say though that out of all of my drivers, minus the fake Sup, that was the most teamwork I've ever seen out of my cars. Max knows this for a fact. I've had some drivers that say that they'll work with each other and don't. So that was the most teamwork I've ever seen out of my cars. Which is
also, can I add something
awesome.
real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just mention the fact that loading was in the back for like most of that race?
The entire race?
Yeah. So I definitely think that dropping loading was definitely a good part of domination. Also, Arrow wouldn't even have shown up.
Yeah, so it literally just would have been you and Josh had we not signed on Max and Sup.
Yeah. And that would have been even worse because then Max would be against me and we wouldn't be working together. So
yeah,
well, we would be, but not on the same team.
So Max, do you have anything to add on to the LM domination that we have brought back?
I feel like if I wasn't signed with you guys and knowing that was a fake Sup and not the real one, I don't think I would have won yesterday because I really wouldn't have had anybody to work with besides the fake Sup and, well, yeah. That's it.
So now that we're moving on from a super speedway, we have a more variety of people that will have a chance for a win, and who could be a possible threat for wins after leaving Daytona? I know that LM was up front for 99% of the race yesterday, but
very different track.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see anybody up front and show that they have true speed. But going to a track like Atlanta, where still anything is unpredictable, because we haven't ran. Last time that we were at Atlanta was the last race of last season before it ended short, and I've
never run Atlanta in NARAS. So.
Well, and even then, an LM car still won.
Yeah.
So last season we win the 500, and then last season we also win Atlanta. So two LM cars already win the first two races, and I'm kind of wondering if we could see a repeat of last season.
I think LM has the strongest lineup they've had.
In a long time.
You have Max, the however many times champion. Me, the guy who's only run 4 races, but like got come pole twice and won one of them, and been top 3 the third. So, I mean, we have probably the best lineup LM has had, at least that I know of. I don't know if there was one before that. I think it could just be the three of us, but there definitely could be upsets with Matthew. BMX I could see up there.
I think, I did see a little bit of speed out of Legends yesterday too. He was in the back for a little bit, but he worked his way up to the front real quick, and he kind of stayed.
That's also very different though.
To about top 5 and 6.
So I think once we get into like braking tracks and let-off tracks without draft, I believe. We'll see that change.
Well now remember though, there was a package change to the car, so all tracks except road courses and short tracks are going to have draft.
Okay, so Atlanta will have draft.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact,
I do think we'll see.
That was one of the things that was fixed this morning on the cars, was draft and bump draft was implemented.
Okay. But I do believe we'll see. Matthew was solid in season 30 in Nashville when I saw him run. Legends, I think, was mid-pack most of the race. I don't know. I think he was racing in Nashville.
Legends has those races where he just runs dead last, on some races, and then there's some races that are more of his strong suit.
Yeah, he's really inconsistent.
He is, and that's the main reason why I dropped him, just because of the inconsistency that he brought to the team. And everyone can tell you that it was a good choice.
I think your biggest threats other than LM are going to be Matthew, maybe BMX, I'm not sure, and then maybe Legends, depending on how consistent he is and what races he's good at.
Yeah.
Because races like Nashville that Max is great at, holding a 2-second lead over me for like all the stage 1. Legends was so far back.
Rex stage 2, and then comes back in between 60 laps, 9 to 10 seconds back from the leader. Yeah. Passes everyone through a spread out field, and then goes on to win the race. After doubting himself, thinking that he's not going to win, he goes out there, still fights his ass off, and
does it anyway. What the heck, Max? Oh, don't give me that villain laugh over there. Come on.
Oh, I was disconnected from being idle for 20 minutes. That's okay.
Oh, I almost was as well. Oh wait, I think it's server locked.
No, because it's my server.
You should be fine because you're owner. Okay, just keep going.
Yeah, so we're just gonna keep talking like I'm still here.
Yep. Are you joining back now?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
So, Max,
who do you think?
Who do you think could be a threat for the win going into Atlanta? And races on.
I agree with what Logan had to say. I feel like Matthew and BMX are the two, especially after Daytona, that could be real threats for wins. But
they probably made the best move.
Yeah. Honestly, Atlanta's one of my best tracks, and I just have a feeling that we'll see some good work, especially with the LM guys again. We
hopefully
should be just fine.
Yeah. So this next topic that we're going to be jumping into the next two topics that we're jumping into kind of coincides with the one that we just were on. Rookie hot takes. Who was hot and who was not after leaving Daytona?
Well, I do think that not has to be Sup and Thunder. Obviously, they did not show up.
Yeah.
Who else is a rookie here?
Slinky.
Slinky was...
Slinky, BMX, and Dusty.
BMX did really well. I think he's definitely...
Besides getting absolutely Newman off of turn 2.
I do think he's going to end up being Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be really close between him, maybe Thunder or Sup if Sup shows up to Atlanta. I think we haven't seen Sup race, so Thunder and Sup can obviously also be Rookie of the Year, but from what we've seen, I think BMX is easily going to take it. Well, yeah, and if one of these rookies get a win, and it only takes one rookie, the rest of the rookies don't have to get a win. But if it takes one rookie to get a win, he's got the Rookie of the Year locked up already.
Does he?
Not on a technicality.
Okay, that's true.
It still goes off of points, but if they get that win,
a big points boost.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that BMX has what it takes to win a race and take a Rookie of the Year. Slinky, he was really not very good at Daytona. He was kind of in the back of the pack or like mid-pack the whole time. Dusty, I can't really say much. He says he got wrecked by Bubble a lot. He was in like top 5 for a few laps, and then he just kind of got moved out of the way. And I do think that Dusty could do decent, but I do not think he's going to take Rookie of the Year. Just because I feel like BMX has done it longer. And
I will agree with that statement. I think that Dusty still has a lot more to prove before he can actually...
Dusty did actually pretty decent.
He did better than the D2 race last season. Because, I mean, last season he
obviously
was just
now he has a new computer.
Yes, and that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Even on stream, his performance was looking good.
It was actually, for a rookie, I think that's probably what you'd expect. Kind of mid-pack.
Yeah.
I think Daytona maybe would be a bit different.
Daytona is definitely different for everybody because you don't know how it's going to play out. You don't know how the draft is going to work. This is the first time in a racing scenario for everyone. It's the first race of the season. This is kind of just like a testing the waters kind of thing to see how it's going to go heading into the next race. Who can you work with? Who do you need to watch out for and all that? And I think Dusty he needs to slow down a little bit and maybe look at those variables a little bit better to see who he can actually work with. I think he's trying to do too much too quickly. It was just announced the other day, actually just today, that he partnered with DBR, which is a Toyota team. That is. It's not a very good move, seeing how
Loading did.
Well, no, not a good move, seeing how Generation is a three-car Chevrolet organization, and DBR is not a brand new, but it's a third season team that has switched to two different. Well, not only that, it's that they've also switched to Toyota and Ford. So they've been very, very inconsistent with the manufacturers. They've been very, very inconsistent with their finishes. We just saw that yesterday with loading in a last place finish.
Yeah,
and I think that if Dusty really wants to, outperform his own goals, he needs to partner with a team that knows what they're doing, that knows how to win. I'm not saying I'm not going to sign that partnership because I really don't want to.
Just not LM.
Yeah.
Just any other team but LM.
Any other team, Chevrolet. Any other Chevrolet team besides us, because I signed a partnership with Max and Wiesner, but
obviously we signed them, so
yeah, we bought them out.
Infinite partnership.
Yeah. So,
is there even a Chevy team? I didn't think there was. I'm completely missing one.
Generation Chevrolet.
Why did I think they were Ford?
I thought they were Ford for the longest time too.
You know what? I think it's because his team in Fox is Ford.
Yes.
That might be why.
I can tell you who's a Chevrolet right now.
It's Howie, us, and Generation.
Yeah, Howie.
So
doesn't Howie Haas have Patrick, or is Patrick with Generation?
Patrick is with Generation.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, I kept thinking that Miller was Chevrolet too, but they're Ford.
No, I was thinking that as well, and I think we're thinking that because Legends was with us last season, and he was in the Chevy.
We've had so many changes go on since the hiatus last season. So
yeah, except for me.
Yeah,
I have moved.
Well, yeah, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh was not on.
No, Josh.
LNO.
It was just Logan because Lego was in the 40.
Yeah.
For the
Lego left. Then
so
Legends dropped.
Speaking of Miller, Miller was kind of up there with us a little bit. Not saying that Legends was up there, but who are his drivers? I don't even know who. It's bad.
It's Slinky,
Legends, Matthew, Slinky.
Matthew. That's what I was thinking of. Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew was up there a lot.
Matthew was up there with us a lot, and he led that one singular lap.
I think Matthew was their best driver. Definitely in Daytona, he was their best driver.
So, this topic is named Miller Memorial Racing versus Lee Motorsports on the Super Speedways. He and BMX was our only threat, but this is about MMR and LM.
MMR was closer to LM at all times, like on an average, than Generation was, because Generation always had Patrick somewhere further back. You never really saw him up there. You didn't really ever see Dusty up there except for 1 or 2 laps. when he had a good run. Matthew was up there a lot, and Legends was actually running second for a lap or two, I think.
Okay.
MMR was up there for a decent amount of the race.
Yeah.
Whenever it was not a LM 1 through 4, one of those top 5 was guaranteed to be an MMR racer, and usually it was Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew, as we stated a couple times already, he led that one singular lap, stopping us from leading an entire race as an organization. But I've never had a driver in all of my 8 years of owning this league. I've never had one driver lead every single lap of a race. I've had them lead the entire stage, but I've never had them lead an entire race before, lap by lap. When
I won the championship in the 3, it was just myself and Tough Tiger.
That's right, because we did not have stages at that time.
I don't know if a 1v1 counts. If it's just 2 of you, I don't know if that counts.
I mean, yes and no, because it was in an official race, but that was when NARAS was kind of smaller and less, hey, let's do this and this and this.
I mean, it's still kind of small, but we have just kind of gotten into media a bit more, so it feels bigger.
Yes, which I kind of like. I like feeling small and big at the same time.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Okay. So now heading into Atlanta, this again coincides with the last, with one of these last topics. What can we expect at Atlanta Motor Speedway? Could we expect, because we're putting draft at these intermediate tracks that we've never done before. We have our cars back. We're not using anyone else's cars. We got the cars that we started Daytona with that are fixed, like they've been fully fixed and tested today. So what kind of racing could we expect at Atlanta? Could we see spread out racing? Could we see pack racing? Could we see, spurts of tandem? Just, it's an unknown because I've, as a host and an owner, have never actually put the draft at these kind of tracks just because I feel like that they don't need them. We saw that out of Max a couple seasons ago at Nashville. Yeah, we don't. Yeah. That was my prime example of why we don't need the draft at these intermediates.
At the same time, was a good example of why we do need it.
Yes, it's a good example of why we do and why we don't. There's pros and cons to it.
It's weird.
Yes, and that's why for the longest time, I just said, no, I don't want it in the cars at these tracks because of what Max did. And Max, you should feel good about that because, that made a statement. That made a statement of why we don't need draft.
So why are we adding it?
Because people just want it, and I'm tired of them complaining about it.
He's like, we don't need it. Anyway, we're adding it for Atlanta.
Hear me out. I kind of hope the NARAS officials are listening because I don't think we should have it because
we are the NARAS officials.
Anyway, that just proves that, guys, that just proves that you don't need skill at these tracks, especially a track like Watkins Glen.
Yeah, that's one thing I like.
Miserable with draft because try to think about that. There's not going to be any competition.
We're not having draft.
Guys like myself, I'm not trying to be biased, but it's just true. Guys like myself who back in the day would go back and forth with guys like Chris at Sonoma, Watkins Glen, tracks like that. I'm pretty sure we didn't have draft at those tracks. It was just us two being the better guys there, going back. And
we didn't even have
every time.
We didn't even have setups at those tracks at that time. We were just running.
Yeah,
we were running at the time true Roblox stock cars. We didn't do setups. We had no draft. It was true stock cars.
Yeah,
they were true stock cars. They had no setups, no draft, no scripts. Probably the only script that we ever had implemented in the cars was engine sounds, and that was it. We were a completely stock league, and that's really, a testament to how far we've come, and why I think we still don't need draft in the cars.
We shouldn't be adding draft if you ask me, because sorry, I'm not mad that you cut me off. You made a very good point.
No.
It just proves that you don't have to have skill. I'm not trying to bash on everybody, but it's you add draft, like I was saying about the whole road course thing with myself and Chris. You add draft, let's say we had draft there. Chris and I probably wouldn't have won because we would have probably gotten screwed over by somebody who can't run a road course and.
And the only reason why he won was because he got drafted.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
and like
I'm
Atlanta,
gonna say something.
I mean, if we were doing Atlanta, like the 2022 layout where it's practically a super speedway, that makes sense to have draft. Kind of just copy what IRL NASCAR does. But if we're doing like if we're doing like 2021 Atlanta, I don't think.
Which is what we are doing.
I don't think we should have draft at the intermediates, and especially the short tracks. Draft at like Bristol. That is going to be miserable.
No.
It takes away the skill.
And see,
Max, that is possible.
And see, Max, you have done a race like that in there before with draft, and you know how miserable it is. It sucks, which is why I took it away in the first place. Yeah, in the early stages of NARAS, we did not use any kinds of scripts. We simply just ran, bare bone cars, and then later on, we started implementing draft because. We wanted to try and make the racing better. We were experimenting a little bit, and it failed. And that's why I took the cars, draft out because we didn't need it because it sucked.
Exactly.
It just flat out sucked. We did a test at Vegas. We did a test at Bristol. We did a test at Atlanta. They all sucked, which is why I took them out. Because people like Matthew and Zombie and just want a chance to win the race.
And really, that's my point. Okay, let's be honest here. You get rid of draft, you're gonna have the same 3-4 people winning every race almost.
Yes.
So you have the people that actually deserve it winning the races, winning the championship. Add draft, but it makes it more interesting with draft because you have different people.
Because you have cars in the back that have not been up in the front top 5 all season that are winning races now. And
the issue with that.
It makes it interesting because it shakes up the points, but at the same time, they're getting free wins from a non-skill based track that requires just a little bit of skill to drive.
You're getting champions that didn't deserve it because they just drafted off someone on the backstretch or got a run off turn 3 or whatever.
Now Max knows this. Yeah, now Max knows this better than anybody because he's got 3 of them. Every single season at Homestead, I take out every script of the card. That way, it's a fair advantage for everybody. There's no draft. There's no side draft. There's no bump draft. So you have no advantage at all. So if you somehow miraculously make it to the Final Four because you drove on a skill-based track with draft giving you no skill, I'm good. I know that we have cursed before in our podcast, so I'm going to say it now. If you do that and you make it to the Final Four because you had, assist in your car, you're fucked at Homestead.
And that's why I think we shouldn't have it. But I think Atlanta will really be a test run.
That's kind of another reason why I put it back in for Atlanta. I want to see how it runs. I want to know what I got to do to make it better. And if I do decide to keep draft, it's going to be very, very small.
Small, yeah. But what I'm saying is, because draft makes it more interesting, but you also get more undeserving people winning it.
Exactly.
Right.
And there are people who are better at manipulating the draft than are better than actually racing.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick says he's better in draft. Obviously, Patrick hasn't been anywhere near the top 3 or 5 without it. So, I mean,
that really that he doesn't.
And see, Logan. And Logan, Max, you can even, vouch for this. I said the exact same thing that Logan just said. The only reason why he's ever up front is because of draft, and that's why I dropped him. I said that in general chat before on Discord. That's the exact reason why I dropped him. It's because he has those assists at skill-based tracks, so that makes it a non-skill win.
Exactly, and that's why I say Atlanta's a test run. We see how Atlanta goes, and if it sucks, we remove draft again. It's not the hardest thing in the world.
No, it's not. All it needs done is just take out the script. Now, will bump draft still be in there? Yes, because I don't want people bumper hooking everybody and wrecking and having a caution every 3 laps. That's going to stay in the cars. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no.
Sorry, I just had to cough real quick.
And honestly, if you ask me about the whole draft situation, I personally think we still shouldn't have it, but I'm not an official. I don't have any power. Just because the way I see it is like, you have guys like Patrick and everybody like that complaining that they have to have draft in order to succeed. If that's your mindset, I'm not trying to be mean, but NARAS is not the
That's
place
like
for
saying that you need. That's
It's
like saying
you need
you have
a
to have
cheat sheet on a test.
Exactly, because
I do,
I'm not
so
going to pass the
sometimes
test, so I need like 4 answers just to get a B+ on my test.
Exactly.
I need 5.
That's not how it works. You're right.
No, NARAS is a mainly skill based.
That's why we stayed smaller.
Now,
and so
now,
honestly,
yes,
if you want somewhere that's draft, go racing paper, mate. I'm pretty sure they have draft.
Or just go race Fox. Go race Fox.
Or just go race Fox. You know, if you don't like it here, then please go ahead. There's the door right there.
They'd be happy to
I'm not
have
trying
you,
to
honestly.
be mean, but some of us like having it to where you actually need skill to win the races, not.
And that's why I'm not going to.
I will say though.
Race? No, here comes Patrick out of turn 4 getting a slingshot from draft at Atlanta.
We're not adding the in our draft. It's fine.
But I'm just saying, you never know.
I will say though.
I know.
Taking out the draft does require more skill, but if we had, those let-off setups, it would be absolute hell for those drivers in the back. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves. They'd be 5 laps down before the race even started.
I think LM would be on more of a runaway.
Yeah,
but I mean, if that's what's supposed to happen, that's what's supposed to happen if we want to do skill-based.
And yeah, I'll say it now. I am looking into better setups going into the rest of this season and next season, so we're gonna have different setup tracks more than what we're used to. Yeah. So it's definitely gonna be a test this season to see what we can and can't do and what we need to take away. So Logan, you're right. Atlanta is going to be a very true testament to what we can and can't do.
Yeah, and I don't know if Atlanta will have immediate effect on like the races after. What's the race after Atlanta?
After Atlanta would be Kansas.
And Kansas.
So automatically. Yeah. So I can name off the next 5 tracks for you.
I just need the one.
We're going to Atlanta, Kansas, and then Gateway.
Okay. And like right there, prime example. Atlanta sucks with draft. Kansas is pretty much going to be the same because it's the same track design almost, like the same idea with an intermediate track. And I do think Atlanta is going to change a lot of what's going on this season. If Atlanta with draft is awful, draft probably goes. If Atlanta with draft is great, draft probably stays.
Well, and also, like we've said before, and I'm going to add on to that, if Atlanta with draft is not that great, but not that terrible, we'll adjust the draft and make it smaller, and we'll just go from there. And if Kansas is even worse than Atlanta, then we're done. Yeah, if Kansas is worse than Atlanta with the draft, then draft is completely gone.
Are we talking taking draft
Atlanta
out
is
for intermediates, or are we talking about taking draft out for everything?
For intermediates.
Okay.
Intermediates, which would pretty much be everything except super speedways, which obviously we'd keep drafting.
Just like so Max, it's just like we had it before.
Okay. Because I'm not trying to be that grumpy old geezer, but I mean I've experienced like almost every change this league has ever had ever since I've been here in season 11. So
yeah. So
multiple times, and I can tell you right now, the draft's going to be gone after Atlanta. I mean, it's just obvious, and I'm not trying to be mean to everybody, but if you, like I was saying, if you need to rely on draft just to think that you can get a slim chance of winning, NARAS is not the place for you. Yeah. Go check out.
Go somewhere else. Like, I've enjoyed you guys here in NARAS. I appreciate you guys coming here to race and give us some sort of entertainment as a pastime. But if that's what you need to win,
that sounds like you just paid them to entertain you.
Exactly. Well.
Why did you agree with that? That makes it
just like NARAS as a whole, not just me.
Yeah.
Like, giving us somebody to race with to have fun.
On draft, run part-time at the super speedways.
Do what?
If you want those drafting tracks, try and grab a part-time.
Exactly.
Daytona,
go find yourself a part-time ride for Talladega coming up here in a couple of weeks.
You're gonna want draft.
Yeah. Actually, hold on. Let me look at the schedule for Talladega.
I mean, our 25 cars open at LM. If
Oh, geez, that's even. Oh, God, you guys are in for a fun time. Talladega is the final race of the regular season.
Before the it's
before the
playoffs. Yeah.
I'm thinking about switching that with Bristol.
No, I have had enough Bristol after today. I had to run 100 laps at Bristol.
Oh, come on, that's just 7 weeks away. It's 7
I'm still
weeks.
going to be traumatized by then, okay? Bristol takes longer than it should.
Actually,
100 laps at Bristol might sound short. It is not.
Well, where Bristol stands now, it's 6 weeks away. If I move it with Talladega, it's 7 weeks away. I'm just because we're going to Atlanta.
We'll make it as long as the Daytona race was.
Atlanta, Kansas, Gateway, Darlington, Rockingham, Bristol, and then Talladega, and then we're into the playoffs.
What are the playoff races?
Pocono, Martinsville, Charlotte, Bristol, Watkins Glen, and Daytona, and then Homestead wrapping it out.
So you put Bristol and Watkins Glen in the same cutoff.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Daytona after it. So the biggest gimme races you've ever seen.
Bristol is the first race
course in a super speedway.
Bristol is the first race of the round of 6. Watkins Glen is the middle race, and then Daytona is the cutoff race for the final 4.
Daytona's
so pretty much it's going to be
win,
who can run the best line, who can run the best line but turning right, and then who can use the best draft.
Yeah.
Honestly, if we see Daytona 2 like we saw Daytona yesterday, it's going to be an LM and MMR fest to see.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
Drivers can punch their way into.
Especially once we fix the cars. Yeah.
Well, we're going to see that period at Talladega because if LM runs as good as we did at Talladega, then we're going to be up front for that race too, and maybe Matthew and maybe BMX.
Yeah.
But I think our 4 cars plus those 2 cars are going to be an immediate threat to the win.
Topic 7 because we've kind of gotten off topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Atlanta race analysis, which you spelled wrong again.
Shut up.
ANALISYS. You always get the I and the Y backwards.
I know.
And it pisses me off. All right. Atlanta race analysis podcast. Analysis.
Shut up.
Analysis. I think that I do think one of the LM drivers are going to take it, probably Max or Josh. Dark horse would honestly be Matthew or Patrick, just because the draft. Or Matthew, Patrick, or BMX, I think, are the dark horses.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think you're going to see Max lead the most laps.
Really?
I don't think I'll be much in the mix.
Where are you going to be at? Dead ass last?
Hopefully third. Around top 3.
I hope that you're going to be in the top 5 the entire race. Hell, I hope you qualify in the top 3.
I hope I qualify.
That's just my bias speaking because you're my driver.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully I can get pole again. So.
Hell, Max, if you weren't even more biased, I hope you win the pole.
Biased. We got a biased man over here in the NARAS Weekly Podcast. Definitely not looking at myself and Logan last week with the paint schemes.
I actually wasn't that biased. I graded mine as I graded everyone else. See, you on the other hand, I don't know.
Well, I love everything I make.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because you're Max.
Okay, so Max I'm going to.
Who are your picks to win, and who's your pole sitter? Let's all do pole sitters.
I got Logan on the pole, honestly, and then kind of like he said, either myself or Josh winning. I can see Matthew or BMX as a dark horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got maybe Matt. Or no, Max always doesn't do really well in qualifying.
That's just
I got Josh on pole.
That's just at Daytona. Everywhere else, Max qualifies like top 5.
Yeah, but top 5 isn't the pole.
Yeah, well,
I got Josh on pole. On pole.
It's better than 7th, 8th, or 9th at Daytona, which he always qualifies down there.
I think your top 3 is going to be Max, Josh. Those 2 can switch around. Me. I think it's going to be those are your top 3. Top 5 would be.
So you think that LM is going to get another 1-2 finish?
Yes, and then I do think that 4th is going to be Matthew or Legends, and 5th is going to be BMX. That's my top 5 right there.
Personally, I don't have Sup high up is. I mean, when I
don't either.
kind of
He's
knew
rookie.
it wasn't. Well, it's not even that. I kind of knew it wasn't the fake sup, but like nobody would listen to me, which was fine. I didn't really care because we
Hey,
had all
free
4 cars
push.
there.
Free
But
push.
sup is not that aggressive. Like the sup that people saw yesterday is not the
That
sup
was
that
very
you'll see
aggressive.
from Atlanta and
Yeah, but it
August.
worked.
The only
was a
issue
good
is
aggressive.
sup is not, from what he told me and from what I've seen racing with him in ARA.
Sup race is scared.
Sup is not aggressive until he has to be. Like if it's coming down
Okay,
to
so,
the
like-
last laps and it's like there's no teammates with him to help him, he's going to be very
He'll go.
aggressive to try to snag.
And
points.
I-
I've watched him
and
win like
Max-
that multiple times.
And Max, you raced against a driver that did that exact same thing a couple years ago, back in season 29. He drove the 5 car too.
Yeah, Rona was a
He
great
stole.
opponent.
He stole a lot of your wins because of his late aggressive driving and his late moves.
What
And
was
that's
it? It
what
was
I want.
I was gonna
Like
go
the
2 in a
thing.
row because I won the 500
And
and
the-
my 4th one, and then we were at what? It was either Atlanta or Charlotte.
It was Charlotte.
It was Charlotte.
That was his first race.
He came up. I was going into turn 4. He bumped me up, and I ended up finishing second. He took the win.
And see, there's nothing wrong with bumping
No,
if
not
you
at
don't
all.
dump them in the process.
If he had
Yeah.
dumped me, I would have been a lot more mad. I mean, I was a little flustered because I was doing so good, and that was just the man's first race. But he did really good. I'm
Yeah.
not
Oh yeah,
saying
he did amazing.
He did
And on
amazing.
top of that, he got 7 wins and the championship by default. But he still got it because he was consistent and he was aggressive when it mattered.
Exactly. But y'all ready to move on to topic 8?
Oh wait, Matt or Jen,
Actually,
who do you have on pole?
Okay, so on pole, I've got. It's really tight between Matthew or Max. It's
I really
really
don't see
tight.
Max getting pole. I see Max maybe getting 3rd, 4th, or 5th.
For me, it's really tight between Matthew or Max. My dark horse, I'm gonna lean more towards Josh or BMX as the dark horse, and winning, I've got it tied between.
Josh is a dark horse.
If you've seen his other races, he's not real consistent at these types of tracks, like the
I've
cookie
only
cutter
seen him race
tracks.
3 times. It was Daytona, Nashville, where he finished
Nashville.
2nd, and Daytona again.
Yeah, which Daytona he's normally really, really consistent with if the
And I
cars
think-
are right.
He did get dumped at the end of like one of the stages.
It
He got
was
dumped at the end of stage 1.
and the Interstates too.
Yeah, so I mean, he kind of got.
He
screwed
got
there.
dumped. He got messed around with so much that race that I think he just
Especially,
didn't
like,
care.
Bubble. Yeah. I think he's
Bubble
like,
really messed up a lot of drivers' races yesterday.
I do think Josh is kind of just like relaxed now because he has
Mhm.
obviously 2 championships. He has. Is that a spider on my wall? That is. I'm gonna scream. Okay, hold on.
So we've kind of already covered
Hold on. Give me
We-
like 5 seconds to like
1,
scream my head off
2,
real quick.
3,
No, hold
4,
on.
5.
Microphone is-
You've had your 5 seconds.
Shut up. I don't want to touch it. I got it. I'm gonna go scream now. Okay, hold on. What?
Okay, so we're witnessing a murder. So we've kind of already covered 2 topics in one topic, so we're actually on topic 9 now.
I'm back. What'd I miss?
I was just telling Max that we kind of covered 2 topics in one. Talking about can LM
Yes.
keep the momentum up heading into Atlanta.
Yes. Okay. Topic 9.
No. I'm gonna change that because we kind of already covered that too.
Did
the
we?
officials-
Yeah, we did that in like.
Yeah.
Topic 9 is should NARAS have taken more time to prepare the cars and tracks for the 500? They were prepared. Something broke. Yes and no. We don't really know. We'll find out.
So I'm actually going to change topic 9 with a topic that was brought up this morning, and that is team voice chats for the drivers. That was brought up to me so much this morning, and I wish it was brought up to me last night so I could have more time to think about this, because this was brought on to me just out of nowhere by one of the drivers. And there's a lot of pros and cons to having team voice chats. But the main reason why
Radioactives don't really work.
well, not even for the radioactive. It's because I have the open general voice chat for the drivers so they can communicate with each other. I don't do the team VCs so that way teams can communicate. I do it so all the drivers can communicate. And if you want to have a team, like an in-race team meeting, you would do that in the general voice chat. I doubt anyone is listening to you because they don't care. They're focused on their, not your race.
The main issue is everyone's trying to talk over each other, trying to get their teammates to do everything.
That's
where it's coming from.
And personally, if you ask me, I think we should look into that. Or I think
we look into it, but I don't know how much we look into it.
I personally don't think it'll happen because that means you'd have to have one person in every team VC recording all the audio.
Yeah.
For the radioactives if they do continue, but honestly, I think it'd be a good thing to look into because it was so hard to try to communicate with guys yesterday, especially when I was communicating with Imposter Sup. It was just hard because I couldn't.
I mean, I had a hard time talking to you in the last 10 laps or so
because everybody was getting hectic, everybody was getting crazy, everybody was bitching, moaning, groaning about bubble. It's just hard to try to focus, but it's like there's not really what are you gonna do? It's just.
Right.
Really hard, and I think it'd be a good thing if NARAS took a look into it. I don't think it'll ever happen, but like I said, it'd just be a good little thing to look into, because
like Logan said, we can look into it. I don't know how far we'll look into it, but we can maybe try something new to maybe kind of like reduce that.
That could be another thing we tested in Atlanta.
Yes, is team VCs. Yeah. No, I don't want to be the one to set that up, but if I have to, I will.
I can set it up if you need to. It's just you have to make it so I can actually make chats.
Okay, then I still got to give you a lot of permissions.
If I were you guys, I'd make it private to where only people with a team role.
Well, we have to make because I can make team roles pretty easily.
Well, and not only that, we got to take the time to set permissions so only set drivers can join that chat I
can do that pretty easily.
Okay, well, if you want to go ahead and do that, then you can do it. By all means, do it. Well, I know, I gotta give you the permission, but after if you want to do it, by all means, go ahead.
I'll make it, but I won't release it until we're sure.
Okay. So now the topic that I know someone's been ready for. Max, yesterday you broke a record. The first driver to win 5 Daytona 500. It's never done before. You've broken a few records already, and I kind of want to know what other records you can possibly break and what is still reachable. Should NARAS stay on Roblox for a couple more seasons?
Well, personally, with the chat I was having with you yesterday, last night, it is not my way to say any information about anything, but if you ask me, I think NARAS should wait so guys, if they need to get funds, they can kind of start building that up, or the younger guys if they want to get a job, so they can eventually be here for the iRacing. That'd be a good thing for them. I mean, personally, I wouldn't mind having to wait because then I can kind of get more practice with iRacing too once I do eventually get it, because that is the plan at the moment.
I still need to check the ARCA track.
And it's waiting and trying to see if guys, because we could hopefully, because I don't know if this is your goal, but a goal that I'd like to see is most Roblox guys getting onto iRacing, but still having some sort of connection with NARAS on the Roblox side.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and now the actual topic was, how many other records do you think that you can break this season? Because iRacing wasn't the topic; it was the topic about you.
I was just answering the question. My apologies, but I took that as a question. If it wasn't, that's my bad. I just took that as a question.
No. It wasn't should NARAS go to iRacing. It was mainly how many more records do you think that you can break? Because if we go to the stats list, so I can bring it up right now, you're sitting at 22 wins, third on the all-time wins list.
Where's that stat sheet?
It is listed under series wins list.
Give me 5 years to find that. Okay, there we go.
2, 3, 4.
I'm already at it now.
So you're sitting third on the all-time wins list with 22 wins.
I still hate the fact that I'm 36th.
Championships. You're tied with 3 drivers right now, in third though, and you have a chance to go for 4 and tie 2 more of the NARAS greats to get 4 championships. You just broke the Daytona 500 record, which has never been broken. Even though you've come close so many times, including last season finishing third. And right now you hold the record for most starts. So that's been shattered. By a couple hundred.
What, 100? I was waiting for you to say by like 70.
No, by a couple hundred, because no one ever makes it that far.
No one ever goes past like 3 seasons.
Max has been here for now 22 seasons. You know, the last person who was here for that long was Sid, and he was here for 15.
And
So let's see. There's who's been in the longest, most starts. I think
Can
I have
say
most
something real quick?
honestly.
Sid was here for like not as long, but he still has more championships than Max.
Well, yeah,
Well,
because
I was also
Sid
in
was
a
just
period-
good.
Exactly, and I was also in a period where I was still brand new to road racing, so I wasn't winning everything left and right. You know, there was still that area, and especially we still had guys here like Tough Tyler, Chris, and especially when like Penn and Derp came in, I didn't really have much of a
They
chance.
stole everything.
Those two
The funny
were
thing
going
was-
crazy with each other.
Okay, so Jags, Penn, Derp, and Rona stole everything when they came in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Season 30 was actually the my first. Well,
Hey,
guess
I don't
everything
think
was second.
I don't think I'm supposed to move my knee like this.
We can't see it, so I don't really care.
Well, I know, but like I'm shifting it to the right, and it's not supposed to move like that.
Yeah. Like NARAS was my second ever full time. I started at Aviation for their 4th season, and then I came here for season 30. Obviously I died at Daytona, and I didn't come back till like January, like 4 or 5 months after. That's actually 2 months, but we'll go with it.
Yeah.
And no, it's February. Nashville's February. Just 3 months. But obviously I had a little bit more practice then, and I ended up coming third in Nashville in my second start. So then I ended up getting the ride with I ended up becoming co-owner because Max did Max stuff. So then I was signed to LM. I was going to be signed to LM for season 31. And then it changed. I became co-owner, and we decided to make LNL, which is just obviously me and
Lax.
yeah. So, now I'm back on LM. We kind of got rid of the partnership. I don't even know why.
Probably the hiatus.
Yeah, just forgot about it.
Yeah.
But LNL will probably come back next year. We aren't sure.
Mm-hmm. So we just completely skimmed over Max. He never got to answer the question.
I'll answer it. All-time wins can be broken this season, I think. 100% on Max's end.
He's down. He's got 22, and the record is 27.
You can definitely get 6.
Yeah.
6
He's
races,
only what, 5 away from breaking the record now?
No, 5 away from tying it.
Yeah, 5
Yeah,
6 from breaking.
And you've already got 1, so now you just need to do it 6 more times.
Just dominate 6 more races. Not that hard, man.
And then let the other guys race.
Yeah. And let me win something, okay? I'm tired of being 36th on the board.
Oh, no. Tell Max, you tell him all about it. You sat 4th on that leaderboard for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like 36th is a lot lower than 4th.
And then season 30 and 29 were some pretty big breakout seasons, especially one-wise.
Yeah, but like slight issue. That's a lot higher than 36th.
Okay, well, to be fair, also Max sat tied with Tupen with 18 wins for a couple seasons, and he was just getting so flustered and was just trying to break that record with Penn. Now he finally did. About 3 or 4 wins ago.
Yeah. Jen, you only have 2 wins in your own league.
I know, that's because at the time, I forgot who owned my league and I raced in it. Max, did you? Rocky. Frickin' Rocky.
Did he win any?
Yeah, he's won a couple.
Oh, he won 3.
Yeah, he won
Jen,
3
you
times.
lost.
Shut up. So do we have any more topics that we maybe want to add on before we end the stream? Because I feel like there's still something that we're missing, and I don't know what it is.
I feel like because we talked about draft, we talked about make sure that we prepare more and double check everything. points?
Yeah, points. We can do points. Let's talk about points.
Okay, now I gotta open the point sheet.
Yeah, I am too. So after
You open points. I'm gonna get the spider too. Hold on.
Yeah. So leaving Daytona, Logan is on top of the points with 120, and Max is 8 points behind Logan with 112. Matthew comes out of Daytona third in the points with 90. Josh leaves Daytona with 88 points. He is fourth. BMX leaves Daytona with 67. No, 87. 1 point behind Josh.
Back.
Dusty is sixth with 67 points. 67. He's sixth on the points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go, Dusty.
He left Daytona with a really good points day.
I guess he was really the dark horse then.
Yeah. Slinky left Daytona with a good points day too. He came out seventh.
That's good.
If our real sub was here, he would have ended up eighth on the point sheet.
That's still nothing to gloat about though.
No. But it's above the cut line right now. But it's still too early to tell.
Zombie comes out 9th with 48. Legends comes out 10th with 34. Patrick comes out 11th with 26. Loading comes out 12th with 12. Arrow, Thunder, and Howie are all tied for 13th with 0.
And honestly, if you ask me, Loading, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean to him, but he came in saying he was probably going to still keep up with his good finishes. Well, Daytona
he was talking about how he's going to win. And then he finished last in every stage.
If he keeps running like he did at Daytona, that ain't happening. I ain't trying to be mean to the guy, but you know.
Well, no. If he keeps running like he did at Daytona, he's going to miss the playoffs completely.
He's going to be out of the playoffs by race 2.
So technically, if Arrow, Thunder, and Howie were not on the points board, he would be last in points.
Yes, he's last with the people that have run.
With the people who have points, he's still last.
Yeah, because Sup, I guess you take Sup off because he doesn't have any.
Right.
Well,
so Zombie is technically
you look at it, because somebody was in that car, it just wasn't Sup.
No, it was Sup. It just wasn't the right Sup.
Because nobody listened to me. But anyway, I'm not gonna get mad about that. I mean, Logan knows about that. I kept saying I'm pretty sure that's not Sup, but I was like,
I guarantee you're right. I just don't care.
See, I mean, even the co-owner doesn't care, so like maybe Sup should keep those points.
But listen here. It was good pushing. Also, I got to make a really cool overtake on the outside, so that was also cool.
Exactly. Yeah, that was pretty cool, and the stream caught it too, so it was cool.
Yeah, you couldn't really see it as well on the stream. It looked a lot cooler on my end.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll let our Sup keep the other Sup's points.
Except for the other Sup will no longer
biased. It's just fair because people wouldn't listen to Max. So just in case anybody out there is listening, it's like, oh, typical LM biasm. It is not. It is people will not listen to me. So this is what people get for not listening to me.
So very important question:
is the sub, and the sub got the full-time driver points.
Hey, what happened to the other Sup?
Did he left or did he leave?
Oh no, I banned him.
Oh, what if we put him part-time in the 25?
That would have been a good choice. The Sup and Sup show.
It's better than Bubby.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'd say he did decent. He could be a good part-time.
So, playoff points, Max leaves with 5 because he won the race. And Logan, the only other driver who has playoff points, 2 because he won the first 2 stages.
Because I'm cool.
Owner's points, LM.
We have twice as many.
Excuse my language again, has a huge fucking lead over everybody. with
have
We're
362.
that fucking good, boys. We're just that.
I bet you we can get to 1,000 by race 4.
I think we'll get to 1,000 by race 3.
If we
If we keep having those 1, 2, 3 finishes, we're gonna be at 1,000 points by race 3, and at that point, I'm just gonna lock us up with the owner's championship.
just a little bit.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, think about that too. Think about how good our stuff's gonna do, because that could probably launch him into a good lead for the.
So that could actually really change because he could be much better or he could be much worse.
Exactly.
So
I'm pretty
but Daytona isn't really a good measurement thing, so we can't really say much.
Manufacturer's points still got a stupid lead over everybody else.
I want to check that now. Yeah, we have double points again.
Toyota. It's not even. Well, it is double plus the pity 12.
Can you just switch Toyota with DBR? Because DBR is the only Toyota team, and they have
Miller's the only Ford team.
No, they're not.
No. Generation is Ford.
Generation is
not
Chevy.
Not Generation. You're thinking of Verizon.
Oh yeah, Verizon.
So can we
Rookie
be
of the
honest
year?
here?
What?
DBR is the only Toyota team, and during this weekend they grabbed a grand total of
12 points.
And Chevrolet got a grand total of 552. That's 540 more points than Toyota. Also, over twice as many as Ford.
So, do you guys know how I do the points like that?
With a lot of luck. And
I calculate all of the Chevrolet drivers' points.
Yeah, I know.
Put them all into one.
That's what I just said.
Oh.
I don't really know what you expected us to say. It's kind of obvious.
Well, look at you being much smart asshole.
I mean, it's not really hard.
Okay. Rookie of the year points. BMX leads
by 20
over Dusty. 27 over Slinky, and I can't do easy math over Sup.
8?
No, BMX over Sup.
BMX over Sup is 25. Or no, 35. 35.
Okay, yeah, see, I can't do simple math like that because I'm stupid.
I know.
I'm supposed to agree with that. You're supposed to make me feel better.
No. No, I don't think I will. It's optional.
So is there anything else that we can maybe add on to this episode of the podcast, or?
Not much. Honestly, I'm out of ideas.
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't know. No.
We've definitely covered a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, does anybody need a GMC hubcap?
No, I'm good.
I drive a Ram, so
I was thinking about putting it on my
means.
truck for shits and giggles.
You should.
A GMC hubcap on a Chevrolet Silverado.
You've seen it. You cannot tell me you haven't seen it. Where you have front ends that are GMC, tailgates that say Chevrolet. Because those
I've seen a Cadillac turn into a truck.
Those damn hicks, instead of buying new fucking trucks, take old parts of their Ford truck and just slap them together.
I take much offense to that.
Dude, Max. I'm a hick too, so it's okay.
In the street, Max. It's still streaming.
I'm well aware.
We're not even talking about NARAS now.
Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. You know, we always enjoy having you guys here. Of course, you know, we love being very LM biased, but that is not the point. So
it is definitely the point.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Anybody else?
You sound like Goofy.
See you guys next week. Tune in for Atlanta on Sunday,
where I dump Max.
Atlanta's gonna be a fuck fest. We should just remove draft now and get it out of the way.
Can we remove Max?
You cannot remove me.
He got his record. We don't need him anymore. Get out.
Wow. Okay.
We'll bring loading back.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah,
I would rather have Max. Okay, listen to this. I would rather have Max. I would rather have Max winning every single damn race than losing every single damn race.
You'd rather have what?
Well,
Max
the funny
what?
Win every single race.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's pretty possible. Because I mean, if we
you should let me win one, because I don't think I'll be here I'll be here at Atlanta, but I'll miss the next two.
Like, if I think I'll be pretty good, if we don't have draft. If we do have draft, I'm gonna get screwed over by guys like Patrick being like, "Look at me, kids! I'm going to take this car around a little track, and I need draft, but I'm gonna act like I still have skill anyway. Oh, turn 4, here comes Patrick.
Yeah, we're still streaming.
Dump Max, and now Max
Can we go back to
the race.
signing off?
Yeah, can we end it now?
Anyway, we'll see you next week. Later, y'all.